to the morning crossfire right here on your number one station for Talk 95.1 Nigeria Info FM. Abuja, let's get right into what the newspaper headlines are saying for today, the 29th day in the month of January 2025.
Hot and fresh off the press, these are the front pages.
So remember that this headlines as published by these media houses and have nothing to do with Nigeria Info FM. On this morning, we're going to be taking a look at the headlines on the Vanguard newspapers, the Punch, the Daily Trust, and the Guardian newspapers. Let's get started with the Vanguard on the front page. Trump's immigration policy. 5,144 Nigerians face arrest, deportation from U.S. 2027, North is powerless against Tinubu. You'd find a story on the front page of the Vanguard newspapers. How Wike bankrolled Bala Mohammed's governorship campaign, says Dogara. Police to arraign Showore over NSAR's comments against IGP Egbetokun. Court summons Iyabo Obasanjo, others over Abuja property disputes. Naira appreciates to 1,640 to the dollar in parallel market. 4 die, many injured as explosion occurs in Ogun. Troops intensify search for Bello Turji, intercept arms for terrorists in Zamfara. Peter Obi makes U-turn, says he's not against coalition. PDP crisis, only a national convention can remove me, says Anyanwu. Obasa's removal, more cracks in GAC as member hits lawmaker. Obasa, avoid banana peels, ex-Lagos speaker, Mamora warns Miranda. FG generated 2.4 billion naira from marriages, repatriated 824 aliens in 2024. You'd find that story on the Vanguard. Despite humble background, Nigerian bags 3 master's degree in the UK. 2025 UTME JAMB announces registration examination dates. Driver, conductor rushed to hospital as another fuel tanker bursts into flames in Niger. Kidnapping and banditry, DSS officer testifies against NSCDC officials in court. And that'll be a good place to wrap it up on the Vanguard newspapers this morning. And now let's take a look at the Punch on the front page. A cover story, telecoms 50% tariff hike. Subscribers head for court as NNC talks deadlocked. 1,088 arrested for financial crimes. $11 million, 142 billion naira recovered, according to police. ECOWAS uncertainty as Niger, Mali, Burkina Faso exit deadline elapses today. Why government should boost, not downgrade TET fund funding, says Falola. You were broke. Wike bankrolled your election, Dogara tells Bauchi governor. Police arraign Showore today for calling Egbetokun illegal IG. Many trapped as 2-story building collapses in Lagos. NEC disputed secretary sit top as PDP bots meets today. Syndicate supplying motorcycles to Boko Haram in Niger, Kaduna busted. Enugu man arrested for cutting wife's wrist over alleged infidelity. Sharia's court jails Kaduna teenager for assaulting sex worker. Court grants NDLEA's request to declare 4 suspects wanted. Your desperation behind PDP's woes. APC faults Atiku's allegation against Tinubu. And finally on the Punch, Reps did good job on 2025 budget proposal, says deputy spokesman. These and many more stories you'd find on the Punch newspapers this morning. And now let's take a look at the Daily Trust's top story. Energy infrastructure vandalism, now a national emergency. Shatima raises alarm. Police arrest gangs supplying motorcycles to Boko Haram and bandits. How Wike influenced Bala's emergence as Cuba candidate sponsored his campaign, says Dogara. 2027, I am not against coalition, according to Peter Obi. Confab, how to make 2027 polls credible and acceptable. You'd find our story on the Daily Trust. Tinubu affirms Nigeria's commitment to improved electricity. What I would have done differently as president, says Amechi. Governor Wabara senators absent as Southeast stakeholders pass confidence vote on Anyao. Atiku, Nigeria on verge of losing democracy. Sultanate Council directs Muslims to look out for new moon. Power won't change me, says Fubara. Many trapped as 2-story building collapses in Lagos. NBS doesn't have data on illegal activities. You'd find a story on the Daily Trust. And finally, Dogara accuses Bala Mohammed of betraying Wike. And you'd find these stories and more on the Daily Trust newspapers today. A final stop will be the Guardian newspapers. First story on the front page, Tinubu returns to Abuja after Tanzania Energy Summit. Illegal migrants, 3,690 Nigerians face deportation from U.S. FG raises 669.94 billion naira from January Action Bond. APC dismisses Obi, El Rufai, Atiku's bribery claims as bogus, laughable. Be hopeful of a better economy in 2025, experts tell Nigerians. Afenifere urges formation of state police, overhaul of security architecture. FG urged to invest in Ibom Deep Seaport, Eastern Maritime Corridor infrastructure. 45% of Nigerian girls have children before 18, says the World Bank. Oborevori wins Governor of the Year 2024 award. And finally, on The Guardian, presidency, governors, ministers, diplomats tackle barriers against women. You'd find all the stories on The Guardian newspapers this morning. Time to get to your reactions. The numbers to call are 0700 951 0000, 0809 597 4869. On WhatsApp, it's 080 999 30137. Remember, we're also streaming live on Facebook and on YouTube at Nigeria Info Abuja. Good morning.
Good morning.
You're welcome.
My name is Gabriella from Dutalaji.
Welcome. Go ahead.
Some Nigerians will be deported. Yes, that is expected. I've said it already. We welcome them back. Let them come and join us so that we develop this country. If we develop this country together, there's no need to run to advanced countries. You see, I think our leaders are learning one or two lessons that advanced countries will disappoint at the appropriate time. So, you see, the bigger truth is that in the 21st century, there's no place for racism. Thomas Trump is a racist. I only say it. So, it's on a revenge mission because of what happened to him.
A revenge mission?
Yes, because of what happened to him, all the allegations on his neck. It's transferring aggression on colored Americans, on anybody. Even though some of his party men, they're not happy with some of the decisions he has taken. They're not comfortable. They are praying that this power will not plunge America into civil war. So let them come back home. We welcome them to develop this country.
Well, Donald Trump made it very clear that he was going to be changing a lot of things solely to improve the livelihood of Americans first. In fact, that's something he said and is still saying a lot of times. Americans first, America first. So, would you say it's revenge? Really? We'll take a quick break, and when we return, we'll take more of your reactions to the news of our headlines. Don't go away.
More conversation, more talk, more right after this.
on 95.1 Nigeria Info.
Welcome back to the Morning Crossfire. We're still taking your reactions to the newspaper headlines. Remember, we're streaming live on Facebook at Nigeria Info Abuja, as well as on YouTube at Nigeria Info Abuja. The numbers to call once again are 0700-951-0000, 0809-597-4869. On WhatsApp, it's 080-999-30137. Good morning.
Good morning, the angelic Gabriella.
Good morning. You're welcome.
Good morning. My name is Abubakar calling you from Gwagwalada. I greet Mr. Donatus from Niger. I greet all the callers and listeners. It's unfortunate most of the country affected by mass deportation by the President Donald Trump. We have to face our problem internally. Nigeria is well placed. It's a strategic country. We don't lack anything. Our being is leadership to mobilize our people, to combat our resources into global assets. We can fight for ourselves. So let them come back home. This white supremacy, the American force of idea of Donald Trump is not his white supremacy. He wants to bully the whole world, bully fellow white in the American country, by extension, entire Europe. It is for a time. And we thank the Nigeria police for abating another disaster in Niger State. Thank you.
All right. Thank you as well for sharing your thoughts. Good morning.
Gabriella.
Good morning.
Morning. This is Prophet Michael Chemoke.
Welcome.
Trump is not a racist. He's a mainstream man. You don't understand him. During his first 4 years in office, he had too much crisis, and he was taken out from office. Everything Trump does is rooted in the Bible. You follow his messages from the Bible. You may not understand that. He's having crisis now. All his executive orders. He's having too much crisis all around the world. But there's something that will dust all these crises on him. I know that very thing. That thing we must get to him.
All right.
People will understand who Trump is. He's not ordinary person. He came to fulfill God's purpose on earth.
All right. Thank you as well for sharing your thoughts. Let's take some calls on WhatsApp now. Good morning. Hello, good morning.
Gabriella.
Yes, good morning.
My name is Salasi. I greet Abubakar. I greet Donald from Nigeria. Say, Gwaza Max, I greet you. Thank Ali Baba Ali, I greet you also. I want to talk about our security men for averting this insecurity, dealing with this criminal in Zamfara and getting some weapon. Honestly, I want to say kudos to them. They should go after them in the Gabriella. We don't want to hear any repented Boko Haram again in this regime. For the past regime, these criminals will go to the community, they will raid the whole community, they will kill women and children and everybody. And at the end, they will say they are submitting their weapon, they are bringing them to the society. They spend our hard-earned taxpayer money to rehabilitate these people. And the government won't even do anything to the victims. That is the irony of life. So we don't want to hear all this. They should go after this against. They shouldn't have mercy for them. They should go and repent to God up there. Then another tanker explosion again in Niger State. We want to commend our security men for averting the casualty, though the casualty wasn't that much. So something needs to be done on our road. Can somebody tell me the road that Buhari started and completed the road project? No. He was just giving contract without even any completion. Look at from Kaduna to Abuja. The road hasn't even been motorable. The road of the journey of 2 hours, you will spend almost 4 hours before you get to Kaduna. He should complete all this road project, and make sure that they are put in order. From Kaduna to Lokoja, The same thing. We have bad road for how many years? Thank you.
Thank you very much for sharing. I mean, in the past, in the period of a week now, there's been, if my memory doesn't fail me, 3 tanker incidences. I think there was one in Enugu and now the second in Niger. And it just brings, to the fore that there is a problem that needs to be, tackled. Why are we having tanker explosions? Why are we having tankers falling? What is the problem? Are we having more reckless drivers? Are we having, what is the problem? Is it the roads? Like Selassie is saying, something needs to give. We can't begin the year like this as a nation. I think we even talked about this some days ago. Was it yesterday or 2 days ago as well? As to some possible solutions to avoiding tanker explosions. Should we explore other means of transportation of this product, knowing it's highly inflammable? Should we employ rather more professional drivers on the ways, or should we just improve the quality of the roads that we already have, especially with when it comes to transporting such inflammable products? Should we explore different times of the day when there is less traffic on the road to move this product from one point to the other? I mean, there are just so many options that we could explore, but are we even having these conversations is the question that I'm asking this morning. Well, let's get to more of your reactions on Facebook. Remember, we're streaming live on Facebook and YouTube, so you can go on there and watch us live and drop your comments there as well. Benedict Mamvong is watching live from Nnewi. Good morning. How is Nnewi this morning? Oludade Abiodun says, good morning. I cannot agree less with the APC. Atiku's desperation is the issue with the PDP. Must you be president? You must not be president for you to contribute your own quota to the national growth. Governor Bala is the main traitor. I totally agree with Dogara. That's from Oludade Abiodun. Good morning to you, Isiaka Abdulaziz, watching live from Suleja. Good morning to you as well, Imam Musa from Aso. Thank you for joining us live. And Mwaza John Asisi from Buari says, we're hopeful of a better economic revamp in 2025. All right. Thank you for sharing. Good morning, Yarda Sidrak and Jafaru Husseini watching live from Suleja. Good morning. Mwaza still says 60% telecom tariff hike. We will meet in court. Enough of the hike here and there. All right. Aleke Modestas Ike Chuku says, good morning, Mr. President. You're welcome back to Nigeria. Hafsat Mwazu, good morning to you. Thank you for watching us live on Facebook. Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning.
Thank you. It's Obasanjo from Niger, Amali, Niger State.
Well, welcome.
Thank you. Niger. My sister, let me tell you, Princess, the roads complete in the Niger State, complete. The coming and the going out of Niger State, I am telling you, it's disaster. If you are in the road in Niger State, continue praying as if you are living with the Bello 3G. The way tankers are, it's the same way like the Bello 3G is treating Nigerian or is treating Niger. Equally, the tanker of Niger road is caring. If you are in that road, continue praying until you are lighted, until you drop. If not, Jesus, God will save Niger, and we will pray God will save Niger. Continue, and we are out of democracy is trying to die in Nigeria, which is true. Elections in Nigeria can no longer hold. Election in local government, I am telling you, it's one party system. So that to tell you, the democracy, please, we call on the well-meaning Nigerian to wake up. If we didn't wake up, what Atiku is saying, Atiku is not talking that he want to become a president, but we should wake up, all of us, the younger ones. This is our dictating. The callers, we should bring back democracy to life. What Trump is doing to America today, I am telling you, that is the real thing that need to be happening in Nigeria. Thank you.
Thank you as well for sharing your thoughts this morning. Good morning. You're welcome. Oh dear. Please do all to call back. Let's take some of your comments right now on our YouTube stream. Remember, we're streaming on Facebook and on YouTube at Nigeria Info Abuja. Oludade, I think you sent this on Facebook, so I've taken that already. Benjamin Ayuba says there is no place like home. They are welcome back. I think you're referring to the over 3,000 immigrants who, will be deported back to Nigeria. TJ, I have responded to your question. Good morning, Lucky Joseph, as well, for sharing your thoughts on that. All right, to some messages on WhatsApp. Asutex from Lube says, there is a growing concern among federal workers about the impact of high inflation on our livelihood. It feels as though the government is pushing federal workers into a position of dependence rather than providing a fair wage that reflects the rising costs of food and services. We urge Mr. Ajero and Mr. Osifo to communicate with workers directly, as we're increasingly dissatisfied with the current situation. Asutex, thanks for sharing your thoughts there. This says, good morning once again. Another tanker explosion in Niger. What causes all these? Sad story from Lagos. We hope for urgent rescue from the authorities. Hafsat sent that one in. And St. Jude from Gwagwalada says, Wike bankrolled the governor, Bala governorship election. We agree, but was it with his personal money or Rivers State government money? St. Jude is asking. Okay. Hopefully you get the answer to that. Mwaza John Lasisi from Buhari says, supplier of motorcycle to bandits arrested. He should be used as an example to others. And Oludade Abiodun, I think you sent this across all platforms because I see your WhatsApp message here again. Thank you for sharing. Leo says, you were broken. Wike bankrolled your governorship election. Who gave Wike the money, from his private pockets or Rivers State purse? Wike committed twice of what he accused Amechi of, is what Leo says. One more comment and we get back to the phone lines. Good morning, Gabriella. U.S. President Trump set to repatriate over 3,000 Nigerians over immigration policy. In as much as I am not in support of illegal migration, Trump should please tread with caution so he does not deport people that have their genuine documents. Please, my fellow Nigerians and Africans, make sure that your papers are intact whenever you are in another country to avoid this kind of shame and embarrassment. Stanley from Suleja sent that in. All right, thank you, Stanley, for sharing. Let's get back to the phone lines. Good morning.
Good morning, Gabriella.
Good morning. You're welcome.
Yes, my name is Obekba Timothy, the son of David. I'm calling you from Airport Road.
Welcome. Go ahead.
Yes, Gabriella, the issue of PDP is a serious issue. And I just noticed that maybe some people have sponsored from the opposition to destroy the PDP. If you check a lot of people in APC these days, most of them are from the PDP. And they have scattered the party, gather wealth for themselves, and moved themselves back to APC. And today they are sponsoring a lot of people to destroy the People's Democratic Party. And a person like Wike and Bala Mohammed, they have been making headlines. A lot of comments they are making online is not good. And tell me, between Wike and Bala Mohammed, from what the guy said, all of them, money they are spending today is government money. They have not made even 1 naira of their own money.
How can you categorically say that? Do you know for certain?
Yes, if you check most of their life from when they gain popularity, we don't know them when they have not made money. You see?
But for every government official, for every office holder, they are on salary. So when you say, it's government money, what exactly do you mean? Because if you work as an office holder, you are on salary, you ought to make money.
Gabriella, if you check their salary from when they are working, even if they work up to 35 years, their salary will not even buy them all those tickets. They are standing up and down, sponsoring their fellow politicians. Who owns the money? Belongs to Rivers State and the Bauchi government. So they should stop. They should stop lying to Nigeria. It's Nigerian money they later that they are spending lavishly everywhere. So that is what I know. They should be very careful.
All right. Thank you for sharing your thoughts. A few comments on our Facebook Live. Steve-O Jetto says, good morning. Dogara on Bala Mohammed. In politics, people sponsor people. So it's not a new thing. Moreover, in politics, you do not have permanent friends. He sent that in from Airport Road. Also, Francis Nnamani from Amagunze in Enugu State says, good morning, Gabriella. The federal government should declare a state of emergency on Ogo Onyema in Enugu, which has claimed so many lives prior to the deplorable condition of the road. May God help us, is what he says. Garba Doc says, when are the Nigerians from America being deported by President Trump? When do they enter Lagos? Why do you want to know? Do you want to go welcome them at the airports? That wouldn't be bad, Give them a grand welcome. Ali Ruben Omeza says, good morning, Gabriella. Talking about the repeated and disturbing cases of tanker explosion in 2025. It isn't just an embarrassment, but a slap. It's even more worrisome that they come promising the people prior to election to provide what should have been basics of good road network, as if it's a favor to be done to the taxpayers. What a country. He sent that in from Church Road in Suleja. A few comments on WhatsApp now. Let's see. Wale Fatunle says, anyone opposing a strong coalition to challenge the APC is indirectly aiding their 2027 victory. No single force can defeat the party alone. They must unite, prioritizing national interest over personal ambitions, or Tinubu's victory will be inevitable, is what Wale says. Thank you for sharing, Wale. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. You're welcome.
Yes, good morning to the listeners and the callers. My name is Zakaria.
Go ahead.
Yes, on the issue of coalition, you see, the interests of the gladiators cannot make that coalition work. They have tried 2015, and it works for APC then. But I could tell you, the gladiators then put themselves together and it works. Now, the gladiators in opposition, because I could tell you they have did a lot of damage to themselves that could not make that coalition to work. The PDP as a party, they have scattered that party beyond what they can control. The gladiators there that left the PDP then to join APC, and now they are back to PDP. So I wonder, if politics is not all about ideology, politics is all about power, I want power, I want power. Look at the president now. He was so very calculative, waiting patiently, and he worked his way down there. So who is advising Peter Obi to join one coalition? They want to kill his political career. Let him stand alone. It must not be that he has to win in 2027. But let him stand and focus and build his party.
But there are people who believe that a coalition, with a coalition, the party will stand a better chance, to come head to head with the ruling party. Do you think that, standing independently as independent parties and candidates, do you think they will stand a chance?
Thank you, my sister, for making that this input. You see, it's the same people. When you see campaign of PDP, it's the same people that went there. When you see campaign of APC, it's the same people that went there, not angels or one ghost coming from another corner. What I'm advising, like when Kosona does stand alone, what makes him that relevant is because he stand alone. If he mistakenly joined a PDP, he's dead politically.
But we had candidates in the last elections who stood alone and did not win, regardless. I mean, case in point would be Peter Obi, who you mentioned. He stood alone at the general elections 2023, and he did not win. So Where does that leave that?
That is his, very, very good. That is his first outing. And what I want Peter Obi to be doing is, he support his candidate. Let him go and look the profile of this president, how he make his way down there. You got to support your candidate. If you had that a party is contesting in another state, not to be visiting all the head of state, they cannot do anything for him.
All right.
Let him support any of his candidate that is contesting in any locality. From there, his party will be known, his party will be known, his party will be known.
All right, then.
What can you do? He can't do anything. That coalition could not work. So any person supporting coalition is not doing it on his own, in his comfort zone, in his bed. That coalition will not work because of the interests involved. They have already scattered that PDP.
All right.
Let them.
Okay. Thank you so much for sharing that. Good morning.
Yeah. Good morning.
Good morning. You're welcome.
Gabriella. How are you?
Very well. Welcome.
Welcome back to studio.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, my name is Ojo, the next president.
Go ahead.
Yeah, one of the headlines said that Mr. President has returned to the country from where he traveled to, I think Tanzania. I want to welcome him back. And he also promised that the electricity issue will be improved. That is good. But my take this morning is I will love Mr. President or Mr. to give us the updates of all his travels since when he took over power. What Nigeria has benefited, the FID that Nigeria has gained from all this travel, all these summits. They need to tell Nigeria this is what Nigeria has benefited. This is the investment that has come in. They need to update Nigeria. This is what Nigeria has spent on all this journey, and this is what has come in. So that we will not just be traveling at the end of the day, nothing for it. That is number one. Number two, now that Mr. President is back in the country, what is happening to the salary of the civil servants? Today is 29. Civil servants have not received their salary. With all the hardship already on the ground, how are they going to take care of their children that are in school until they begin to send them out? So Mr. President needs to query the CBN, the Minister of Finance, the Minister of Labor, what is holding the salary of the servants. If federal government has not paid by 29 of this month, what is the hope of the state workers, local government workers? Gone are the days that we need to remember that between 23rd to 25th, civil servants receive their salary. And this improves the circular flow of income in the country. Mr. President, your welfare package for the citizens is very poor. You need to look into this. People are suffering. They have work. You have to pay them. Thank you.
All right. Thank you as well for sharing your thoughts. I mean, it's one thing to say, they haven't even received their salaries. It's another to ask, will the new minimum wage be implemented? I mean, last week that was a major conversation as to how or when the implementation of the new minimum wage would even, begin in some states. I know for some states, they have already begun to implement, but for others, they haven't. So on one hand, when will the civil servants receive their salaries? On the second, when will the new minimum wage be implemented? It's been months since, the new minimum wage was approved for. What is happening? Questions begging answers. A few comments here on WhatsApp, and we'll take probably one or two more calls to wrap this up. Let's see. This says, good morning, Nigeria Info from family, Triple D from Waru. There is no place like home. They should come back. Let's join hands together and fix a great country called Nigeria. And this says, good morning, Radio Angel, Gabriella. I greet Abubakar Dan Ali Baban, Salasi, Pastor TJ in Dubai, Mrs. Omeza, Omar Ojo, the next president, Abubakar from Gwagwalada, Naira appreciating to 1,640. What difference can this make on the harsh economy? Thousands of Nigerians to be repatriated from the U.S. will welcome them back home. Let us all go back to farming. Okay, that's a good idea. Yahaya, the head boy from Massacre, send that in. Good morning, Nigerian for family. This message reads: many Nigerians in the U.S. face deportation because of the new policy from Trump. It's a good development. Nigerian government should develop Nigeria, not depend on developed countries. Mr. Chukwugoze from Madela says. And Fitzgerald from Airport Road says only 828. There are over 1 million illegal migrants in Nigeria. People coming in from the northern borders as if they're going into their bathrooms or their living rooms, and also people coming in from Togo, etc. Trump's immigration law is cool, is what Fitzgerald says. Jacob Ode says Nigerians in the USA are affected by Trump's immigration policy. Can this be a cheering news or a disturbing one? This will surely be great surprise to Nigerians who are Trump supporters, as this is least expected, is what he says. We should explore the railway to move petrol products, is what Mr. Waff says. And Big Easy from Central Area says one tanker fired too many, almost like it's subtle. Wouldn't one say that? Charles from Lugbe says the attempt by this government to arrange Shoare for challenging the legality of the extension of his office is another move in the wrong direction, and one that will further portray this government in bad light. Let's see if we can squeeze in one call. But Malam Idem in May, Cameroon says, as for Niger State with bad roads, let the governor organize some delegates to travel to Akwa Ibom State and see good road network there. Lastly, to be a good leader, you don't need to try your best. It's about doing the best, is what he says. Sadly, we can't take any more calls. Our time is up, so let's squeeze in one or two more messages. Patrick from Abuja says, on Atiku saying that Nigeria is on the verge of losing democracy, it is laughable that a serial presidential election candidate who has been politically choked in finding his way through democratic processes to the presidency has suddenly just woken up from his political trance from where he saw the direction of democracy in Nigeria to speak. Patrick, thank you for sharing. On that note, to get to wrap it up, we can't take any more messages, but thank you for sharing your thoughts. You can keep the conversation going on our live stream on Facebook and on YouTube at Nigeria Info Abuja. We'll take a quick break, and when we return, we get right into the lead for today.
More news and information coming up. We'll be back in a moment.
This is Nigeria Info.